your enemy, I'd tempt you toward certain sins, making you believe that they were basically, even biologically, unavoidable. I'd study your tendencies and your proclivities till I learned the precise conditions that make you the most likely to indulge them. And then I'd strike right there, again and again. I'd wear you down, because if I can't separate you from God forever, I can at least set you at odds with him for the time being. Ooh. It's a scheme of the enemy to tempt us toward different levels and varying issues of sin in our life so that we will have no fellowship, no connection with God. If you are already a son or a daughter of God, that means you are always going to be in the family of God. He can't destroy you. The enemy can't destroy you. He can't keep you from being a son or a daughter, but he can cause so that there is a lack of fellowship in your relationship with each other. So, do you think it is by chance that particular temptation happens to show up in your life on those days when you are particularly tired or overwhelmingly hungry or really lonely? Do you think it's by chance that temptation happens to show up? That one, that temptation that wouldn't bother your girlfriend. She wouldn't be even the least bit interested in that thing. But that thing always presents itself to you, and that's your issue. That's the thing that causes your flesh to rise up and desire to do it or to be a part of it. Do you think that's by chance? No, that's a scheme. That's by design. The enemy is trying to tempt you toward impurity so that you will not have connection and free-flowing communication with God. It leaves you and renders you a bit powerless against him. That's why purity is so important, because holiness in our lives, well, we'll never be perfect, but holiness in our lives is actually like a magnet that draws down the favor, draws down the blessing, draws down the grace, draws down the power of God in our lives. That's what the enemy does not want. He doesn't mind if you go to church on Sunday. He doesn't mind if I go to church. He doesn't mind if we're at the next women's conference. He doesn't mind if we, read a book every now and then because it's what everybody else is reading. He doesn't mind all that. What he minds is a person that does all that and lives according to what they've actually learned in church, actually aligns their behavior toward holiness and toward the standard of God's own word. When that happens, then man, we've beaten him at his game before he's even really begun, because he's counting on you to be unholy, because unrighteousness attracts him and gives him opportunity to flourish.